Alright guys, here we're going to talk about Insatiable Season 1, Episode 7.
Michael Ian Black is back, because of course he is, because he's running that pageant, and it's time for the pageant.
It is time for the pageant.
As usual, there's a lot of stuff happening. A lot of character intertwining and like interactions.
There is, in quotes, development.
There is development in quotes.
Yeah.
Do you want to skip to the end? Do you want to pick a character and flesh it out? How do you want to approach this?
Alright, so I can't
I'll leave it up to
stand
whatever comes to your mind first.
I hate quick relationship shit.
Neat.
So I really didn't...
Well, then you must have loved this episode. Twice.
Not really. I had a bigger problem with, like, okay, I have just come to terms that I am a lesbian, and I immediately am going on a date, and this is my girlfriend, all in one episode. And they're meeting my family, and we're going to watch them perform. Like, it was a lot happening very quickly. And this show is all about we do a lot very quickly. And,
yeah, exactly. I didn't...
this is a pet peeve, though, like, in life I have with, like shows and movies and stuff where people just jump, like, I've met you, we're in love, we're dating. I'm like, you what?
I think here it makes a little more sense to me than usual because she's got, like, a new thing and she wants to, like, try it out and get into it. I do agree with you, though. Like, in the real world, people have been, like, not dating for 3 years, and you're like, what do you mean you're not dating? Like, what? And what, bro, what are you doing Friday? Oh, we're doing, okay, what did you do last Friday? Like, what are you talking about? You were dating this girl.
Exactly.
What is wrong with you? We're not dating, And I'm like, have you talked to her about this? Does she think you're not dating? What's wrong with you? Right? So yes, it is weird that like every show ever has people and they're just instantly, because they're actors, right? Act like you're dating.
Well,
Great,
you only have
right?
22 episodes, so you gotta just knock it out. And is this even 22 episodes? This is like, what, 14?
This is like 13 episodes.
13?
This is nothing.
So yeah, you even have to go faster than that fast.
Yeah, no, I had a small problem with, I guess, the dad's involvement or whatever. Like, I like him being like, who's your new friend? Okay, whatever. And then, like, Blue Lipstick, I'm still going to call her that even though she wore it, like, barely at all in this episode, is all like...
Did she have Blue Lipstick at all?
She had it on stage later.
Oh, okay.
But I figured it was, like, a core personality trait because she's outlandish and whatever, but, like, no, she just usually doesn't look like that. The point is, I like her clocking it and being like, he knows this is a date. Like, everyone knows you're gay, bitch. Like, stop it or whatever.
Yeah.
That part's
I think it might even be, like, part of the confidence of that character that I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like...
She's a baller.
I like so many of the characters in the show, but she just, like... And maybe she'll, like, turn on me, but...
Well, yeah.
Another thing, a pet peeve I have is like, okay, we're like... And I'll just use the exact example from this show, because we're talking about this show. We're having a pageant. There's like, 30 girls in it, but only the girls you know have all the prominent things.
Yes.
Like, the one that we just met, she's going to have this rap breakdown.
Oh, God.
Why would a pageant select one person to have a, like really, extra part that would clearly gain them clout with the audience and this and that? And it wasn't even very good. So, it might even be really bad.
So here's my little insert, right? It's pageant time. Sweet, sweet Jesus inside me. Please ride me, etc. Right? Yeah. Oh, I was afraid she was going to rap. Oh, no! I was just like, because she's kind of front and center and she has her own like mic or whatever, but then like she like doesn't rap, she just says something, and I'm like, oh, good. I was afraid she was, and then while I'm typing, I was afraid she was going to start rapping, because that really looked like the worst thing in the world, right?
That though, I can't decide if it's genius or terrible in that it, like, because the song and what it is such a like a cliche
they're going for something, right?
Yeah, of like sexual innuendo in Jesus, great.
Yeah.
Now, is having your only minority girl rap,
have the black
does
girl
that
rap.
add
Yes.
to the cringiness of the song and how everything works? Like, could you pick I would have loved the pageant leader, like when they're talking about things well, and of course you're gonna rap.
Yep.
Why do I have to rap?
I was just gonna say that is that like this only could work if she's like, what? This is ridiculous, and right? Because like I'm already very critical of this character because she's not shitty, and every other character is shitty to some degree.
Yes.
So I already
as in bad people.
Sorry, yes, like an ugly monster that has their own motivations. Even like the preacher, you see him doing stuff where you're like, wait, dude, what's
so to have a selfless
right?
character who seems to be good is off-putting, and it might be why I hate her so much.
That's what I'm saying, right? Is like we've thrown a lot of shade about like minority and sexual whatever characters, but the point is I think that the show is also treating them differently, and that's why they're coming coming off differently or like whatever. But this one, she doesn't have like a shitty, dark, like bad thing. She just seems to be like good and wise and awesome. And yeah, without that like dressing around it, without her being like, or like have her be shitty, have her be like, this is my thing, and like I do this at the coffee house, so I'm gonna insert this, or I'm gonna play along, I'm gonna act like, why do I have to rap? All right, and then I'll do like have some angle where something's happening around it. Don't just like without comment or anything have your only. She's not the only black one, but she's the blackest of them, right? Have her do a rap breakdown in like the middle of this thing, like that's horrible. And not because it's like racist to have the black girl rap, but to have none of the other stuff you do for every character all the time, just for this one character, it makes it shitty. Shitty. And also, yes, I'm sorry, to your point, it's like, and now we're down to our 5 finalists, and it's all the 5 main characters, exactly, every time, which is like, that's a normal TV thing, but yes, it's whatever.
It's an annoying thing though, like especially like in TV show business where it's like, okay, and now we need an athlete, and like it's like, aren't there athletic people in this? Like you have a football team, you have a blah blah. There's no fast people. Of course, the person who randomly shows interest in sports this episode is gonna be the leader of the competition. Right. Like that's a standard TV thing, and that's the vibe I got from this, which has been against the grain of your norm stuff. For so long that's a lean hard into stereotypes seemed like, I'm like, oh really?
Yeah, it's kind of made its business to like subvert things.
Would have been great if like our 5 finalists and none of them are in it, and you're like, well.
Yeah, well, we needed someone to win, obviously.
No, but wouldn't you have been like, that was refreshing?
Oh yes, I'd have been like, what?
Like cut to them all in the audience, like, I can't believe it
or whatever. One of my we're gonna get really sidetracked, and I'm so
sorry. Let's do it.
One of my favorite things is in How High.
Okay.
All right. So it's like the 2 leads, right, and like like our like other scholarship sports thing falls through, whatever. Bottom line is they have to pass all their classes, they have to get good grades, or else their whole like thing is ruined or whatever. And there's a montage. One guy's on like the rowing team, I think it is, or like a sports thing. So he's like doing sit-ups, and the other guy's holding the book, and they're like studying and doing this and smoking weed and studying. They're doing like drills. He's got books, the library. He's smoking. He's studying. He's like whatever. They're like playing all this awesome music. Then it's like record scratch. The grades gets like slapped down. F, and they're like, how could we fail? It's ridiculous or whatever. It's this hilarious because like you assume it's like the montage of like, he's like the best on the rowing team, and they're going to study anyway, and they just smoke because that's fun or whatever. And it totally, with like I think a literal record scratch, subverts everything or whatever. And that's what this show is doing.
It's like studying, and then I overslept,
and then no, exactly. Or like you just like were like dreaming that you got good grades, and you. And then you wake up having overslept for the test, and now you failed the class, and you're like pounding on the door, and the teacher's like, no, you missed the thing. And you're like, no, it's this whole thing or whatever. Like that stuff's awesome. And then to have this, to have it not do that, right? I don't know.
I once showed up, so I was getting tattoos with a friend of ours, and she drove us, and I had a final for I forget what class, but I was late, and they had one of those policies where like if you're not there when the door shuts, you miss the final.
Yes.
And I'm like, it's like I think you have like 3 hours to take the final or something, and I'm like an hour late, and I got there, and I literally just kicked the door open, and I sat down. And there was no
no one's ever tested this rule before.
I just sat down and I took the test.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he gave you a 0.
I got, I think, like a C or something, but I did take the test.
Perfect. In this episode, they have to take a Bible test. And segue.
Yes.
Segue. And it has to,
this didn't go the way I would have anticipated.
Okay, interesting.
I guess it eventually got there, but what your average TV show would do was when you caught your son potentially stealing the test answers, they would switch the test answers, and then you'd have Magnolia buzzing in early, saying
like the
Joseph,
wrong answers,
blah blah, and then eventually your pastor would be like, I realized those were all the answers to the questions I once had, and I no longer have. But it got you to the same ends, but through much more weird, roundabout decisions.
So I thought, and by the way, Magnolia doing bumps with her keys and shit and being like, I'm going to pull it together. Yeah. And that's her like rally move. That's the kind of shittiness that I like on this show.
And it worked.
That's the dumb thing, right?
Why did it work?
But then to like bookend that with her like, man, bam, buzzing in. Samuel, Isaiah, this, Isaiah, Thomas, whatever. Like whatever the names are, all the answers to all of like the things. Genesis 14:18. Like she's like nailing it, right?
Jesus.
And then to have him be like, that is also wrong. Stop buzzing in, please, or some like horrible thing where like, oh no, like that would have been knocking it out of the park, right? And they went,
and that's what I thought it would be.
And they went. And they did get us to the same place. I guess we should talk about that because
I thought we got to the same place, but it felt like a worse payoff.
It's like forced
without the public humiliation.
Yeah,
and she's still humiliated. They got her for cheating, but not nearly the way I would have liked.
There's people at the pageant day of, and they care about whatever they care about. Then there's people later. Like, how is that even communicated? It's like in the newspaper. Like, how would you find out that this local person was disqualified? You don't care.
Rumors, who gives a shit?
Yeah, you saw her get the tiara there, and then you went home. So that's what's in your head. And then you might hear later, she got disqualified, some bullshit. And like, she'll be like, no, I didn't. What are you talking about? And then she'll just live her life. It's totally fine.
Yeah, and who knows how many of those answers that she would have even known?
Yeah,
but she only potentially needed one or two to beat
Patty. Right? Yeah, and they don't flesh that out a lot. They don't show.
She's a Christian. She may have just known a couple of those answers.
Right, exactly.
But she couldn't risk it.
Her dad
couldn't risk it.
Her dad couldn't risk it. So that's the major thing here. Is Bob Barnard ends up being Roxy's father.
Yeah,
we get some parentage drama here,
and that makes sense.
Sure,
that he parents these perfect children regardless of the mothers.
Sure. Yeah, Stella Rose is back. She's a judge, whatever. Bob, the other Bob, old Bob, Fat Bob, finds out that Roxy is Stella's daughter, and then goes, "Wait, I did the math. What's going on?" Right? And then the explanation is that Stella was rejected by Bob and ran to his rival and seduced him or something like that.
It's a very strange thing because 20 years ago they wouldn't have both been in the same career field. They would have been in school presumably or something, right? Or whatever it is, but he would have had to actively said enough about how he hated Bob Barnard. I know. How would you even know people that I'm super close with? I have no idea who their rivals are.
You don't know my rivals.
Oh, I know their
rivals.
It's
you. Oh.
Bum bum bum.
Oh, spoiler alert. Yeah, I don't know why. That doesn't make sense. It's just the thing they say to explain the thing, I guess.
Yeah.
But I prefer for it to be like a thing where you go, "Oh, I should have known. I should have seen that coming," or whatever. But it's just a weird misdirect thing where you're supposed to spend time thinking that it might be his daughter, and then it flips around, and it flips around in a way that you hear the tone of my voice, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever. It flips around in a way that lets Patty win the pageant, and everything gets cobbled together like it always does.
Wins the pageant without even being around.
I was gonna say but that's the interesting part, right? So everything happens the way it always does, where whether she wins or not, before or after the thing to set up to qualify or to get undisqualified or to get whatever she needs from whatever she needs. It all comes together. Bob shows up. "We got it, girl. Let's go. Where is she? Oh, shit." And she's run off with Christian.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing where I thought you were going to say, I hate how relationships rush and get put together. I was thinking about Blue Lipstick and Nani, but I made a comment you probably love this episode twice.
Yeah.
We also have Christian and them running away.
That one's a different stereotype to me.
Yeah.
That's
definitely.
We've got nothing in this town. We got to run for the hills. That shit happens in everything too.
My dad doesn't understand me. He just threw me to the wolves, aka my mother or whatever.
Yeah.
Man, let's go.
Not the best.
Not the best.
Something I was thinking about too during this episode was we'd been hearing about Miss Magic Jesus for quite some time.
Yeah.
And it felt like it was going to be this big thing, and then it's oh, it's the local church.
Yeah, it's like a normal
why are we even
thing.
talking about this? It seemed like something so small.
Right, you're waiting for that big and I think Miss Magic Jesus qualified her for
it did
the big pageant.
But that bucking rodeo one they went to seemed like it had
bareback buckaroo.
Yeah.
That seemed
that was bigger.
It would be bigger.
The fake one that they threw at the just to get her a qualification thing.
Oh, with the
with the mother-daughter one. That had more things in it. That one seemed realer, and that one happened on a weekend's notice.
It felt more legit and all that stuff. Yeah,
because they had singing MCs. They did a thing I don't know. It just I was
the way
let down by Magic
yeah.
Jesus.
Sure, it was a disappointing beauty pageant.
Right? It didn't.
Yes.
Didn't seem to live up to the hype. They ran out of budget. They had to just
knock it out. Well, we're in like the middle of the show, so presumably it's like the least important part of the show. The beginning,
you want to,
you want
and strong,
you want to suck people in to get them going. They'll sit through like every Marvel Netflix thing, right? We'll sit through a few episodes because and then you want to ramp up at the end and have an actual like knockout ending. So like I can't wait for next season or something, right? This is episode 7. It's essentially the mill, right? which is a little crazy because there's a lot more that
this is the end of a lot of shows. But it's the middle of this show. But,
exactly.
But in this show, Insatiable, on the whole, so much happens per episode that like you could take 3 episodes of the show and that would be like, oh, that's season 1 of 90210. Like so. The idea that by the middle of the first season you have a full season's worth of stuff is both interesting and becoming like, yeah, of course. What do you mean? So much shit happens. Of course there'd be like a mid-season finale inside the middle of the season that is half of a normal season.
Yes. I don't know if the show is getting renewed or if it failed miserably or if the controversy made
I believe with how much talk they got in the very beginning, they probably auto-greenlit that second season.
Okay, interesting.
Would be my guess.
Probably, right?
I think so.
Any news is good news. Any like press is good press. I really only heard about this show in like little dribs and drabs. Someone would talk about a different show. They'd be like 13 Reasons Why. Why does Netflix keep making all these problematic things like Insatiable?
I think because they know the news will talk about it.
Like mention.
But all the stuff I heard about this show when it was first getting that controversial was like, oh man, they show that all you need to do is get skinny and it solves all your problems. And I'm like, mostly all her problems started when she became skinny.
No, and we've talked about.
I think you just saw the cliff notes of this and didn't actually watch a single episode.
You saw the trailer and you didn't get the point because that's the point of Patty is that she's still so fucked up or whatever.
Because we watched the trailer and we're like, that was good.
We watched like the first minute of the first episode and we're like, this seems well done. This seems fine.
Yeah.
I think people, again, people see a girl in a fat suit, they see like beauty pageant stuff, they kind of just roll with it and they go like, this is bad or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, and there's another like fat daughter show on Netflix now too. What is that one called? Like
Dumpling.
That's it. Yeah,
that's a movie, I think.
Oh, is it a movie?
Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, I thought that was a show.
That comes up for us now because we're watching the same show.
Probably.
So it has to like tie everything together. Bob Barnard. There's a gay joke in here.
All right.
I think we've been on the right track with this stupid gay thing because he's like, oh, hit send too soon because it's like, meet me in the park, I'm gonna blow you. Or whatever, right?
Yes, but I think that's just a gay joke for the audience. I don't think that's supposed to be a read.
That's not character development. No, that's and like even like in universe, that's a joke. But it's supposed to prep you for the inevitable reveal that Bob Barnard. Because think about it, his wife is like never home. He's doing his own thing a lot. Cares a lot about his physical appearance.
Often, behind the trailer stop or wherever.
He's doing his thing, right? Legal system. Yeah,
I do hit your send a message like that where you send it and you're like, there were words left. How the hell did that happen?
No, these days it's like autocorrect that's
autocorrect is the little devil. Yeah,
the little devil.
I said literal, but it made come out bad.
It autocorrected in my head.
Yeah.
So
I can't stand the amount of times it's changed fuck to duck. If you went through and looked, how many times in my life have I typed duck?
You've never typed duck.
I've never typed duck.
No one has ever typed duck.
3 people have typed duck, and that's because they like Peking duck.
They've ruined it for everybody.
I know, bastards.
Magnolia overdosed. She overheard the parentage thing and was fucking destroyed by it. And she did all this stuff. Highlight of this, though, and we should talk like a little bit about Dixie, too. When Dixie's dialing 911, she smiles. This, like, fucking smile.
Well, yeah, because she wants the daddy.
I know, but, like, that's...
To herself.
Yes, and it's so...
And the idea that she thinks that she's going to get the daddy if Magnolia somehow dies, like, what do you... This guy doesn't like you at all.
It's so... I've been enjoying this whole thing with her, where she's like, sisters have to stick together. And Manola's like, we're not sisters. Like, just instantly shuts her down, and she keeps trying to like make everything work. Like, she's this much worse version of her mother, where she's like plotting and using her looks and doing stuff, but she's so like bad at it, right? She was the one who stood up. She's high, and then like everyone's like, what are you talking about? Sorry, goddamn it, fuck shit. Oh no, I'm church, and like had the whole thing. Like, I love her being so bad at it and it not working out, and now she sees her big chance, right? It's so dumb. Yeah.
I saw her in a movie recently. I think it was called Freaks of Nature. And she's a very small part, but she gets covered in goo.
Great.
Yeah.
Is she good?
It was the same caliber of acting as you got in this. So if you like this, then yes,
we love this.
There you are.
Bob makes a ridiculous hat with all the flowers on it or whatever.
That was actually really impressive, and how quick he made that. I'm like, what even held that shit together? Is this a series of pins?
Just pins. I haven't even started. Does the whole thing.
Yeah, no, that was very good.
That's where the Nani thing comes into play. So like like the part that I thought was weirdest about that was when it was like, she's here cheering for me. Let's go over there and all that stuff. That was when it was too far for me. When I was like, nah, dude.
Too far in what sense?
Like they just had a moment where things were like, they had like a falling out, Nani and Patty. This is like it's like embarrassing. It's like whatever, and she's testing out being like rebellious and like doing stuff or something like that. But from Blue Lipstick to take it upon herself to be like, bitch,
well,
she's doing this. Or
I took that from Blue Lipstick as I don't even know her name. Blue Lipstick will be her name forever for now.
Shit.
Doesn't matter. So Blue Lipstick, I took it as still being a good person because she's being
like
is the only person that can that is outside enough to realize Patty is like the worst person for you. You should not have her in your life. You should not be wasting your affection on someone who doesn't care about you. Because yes, everything we have between Patty and Nani is Patty being selfish.
Yeah.
It's always about her. And Blue Lipstick is like, no. It's going to be about me now.
It's all about me now.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. No, yeah, it's a like protective gesture, but that was what felt too like fast for me, because she had just said like, I thought the day went well or whatever. Like it was still that like it's still like the day one or something like that, but she still pushes that hard. It works out for her. It's a bold move, and I think it worked.
Yeah, we'll see. I kind of want them to break up though. I don't know.
I would like them to break up, or for them to fill out her character more. You know,
I like Choi.
Yes.
I certainly, I don't care if they're together. I think I would like them together, but I want him in the show more.
And it's hard
so
to
at the very least, get him, like, get him in their friend circle. Like, maybe Blue Lipstick and him, like, well, let me try to be friends with him because blah, 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 like, I don't know, something. Just to get him back in the show. I enjoy his character.
Yeah, I mean, like, Patty's left now, so that might be the, like, emergency break to get some of those characters back together.
Well, the problem is Blue Lipstick has a car also now, so you don't need Choi to get the car to go after Patty.
That's true. Well, not just for the car, but I mean.
But I mean, that was the way you could get him in a lot. Was like,
thing.
well, he has a car, bring him in. He has a car, bring him in.
Choi's in this for a second, I think, right? What
yeah,
happens?
like the smallest of bits, but not enough for my taste. I grew to really like that guy.
I thought it was interesting how the character was developing and things were happening, and I do agree. I hate people getting dropped, and I hate people people getting shoved in. I like when it feels natural and good, and you've seen them before, and now they're doing this instead of that. Like we have like a thing going, so. I am hoping, now that Patty has effing disappeared, right? Because who does this affect? The pastor, who's already been talking to Patty's mom, and they have a history, or, well, they each have history.
They're going to bang
maybe
it out.
together, right? And then there's some weird thing with who is Patty's dad, because we just had a weird thing with, like, who is Roxy's dad. There's all this, somehow this show became a soap opera. As if it was not from day one, right? We have all that stuff happening, and on Patty's side, obviously, Nani, everybody, Choi, Patty's mom, the whole thing, Bob, right? He's Coralise wants to come back maybe now, and he's trying to juggle all that, and he's blowing her off to do his other things. It's the whole thing.
That was really weird though. How he kept getting text messages from her but not see her, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here with her contract?
Oh, yeah. I've been having those same thoughts from the very beginning. Like, did she only sign up for half of the season? Is she going to come back for 1.5 episodes later on? That's it?
I don't know. It's very strange to not even cut the, like, hands texting, like nothing from her side.
Nothing.
Which I'm almost like, is she dead? Is Bob, like, texting in her stead? Like, what's happening here?
Right? Bob, the other Bob?
Because I thought multiple times, it was like, okay, we'll meet up after blah, blah, we'll talk after blah, blah, and it never happened. And I'm like, well, what's going on here?
Well, I thought, like you, either it was going to be, like, a trick misdirect where Bob goes to the place or like does the thing, and then something else happens, but he doesn't realize he was just lured there by the thing or whatever, right?
By Lord.
No, by Lord.
The Lord.
Ooh.
How do you think the preacher's power works?
I don't know, but he has superpowers.
If Patty was his daughter, do you think he'd know from touching her?
Like he would sense the midichlorians, you
think?
I don't know. I don't think so. It seems to be like current emotional states and like overall like strong things. Like who, like he even says to his son, "Who is she?" and all that stuff. Like he knows.
Yeah.
And with Bob, he's kind of like, "You got something else going on there, buddy." Like he has like a thing, right? He doesn't see pictures. I think he just.
I like that it's through context. He's like, "Whoa," and like scoot away from him.
Oh, nope, sorry.
No, don't touch me.
I have the gift of discernment. No, there's something. There's more to that. I think we can explore. He's gonna touch Patty's mom. He's gonna figure something out. Like something happens or whatever.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a thing. But
Touch
no,
your
like
mom again.
oh,
Zing.
but we got a whole, as a quote unquote mid-season finale, which I did not think of it as until now. We have a good setup here.
Indeed.
We have a character getting rushed to the hospital. We have characters rushing out of Georgia. We have a bunch of fallout from this pageant disqualification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's this episode of Insatiable. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.